Okay, I'm going to go over 4 problems from that packet I gave you. I believe Maria went over it with you, but Dorya requested me to go over 4 problems more in detail, and since she's the only one who emailed me, these are the only 4 I'm going to go over. So she requested number 2. So this is asking for an approximation using the tangent line to the curve. So the first thing you should be doing is this. Okay, and then we were told that x equals 0.12, so I can use that. Okay, and now we're going to need, oh, I'm sorry, that was a mistake. Let me get that out, sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. We were told to use x equals 0, so x minus 0. Okay. Now, you need to find y. Well, if x is 0, all you have to do is plug it into y. So we're going to get y equals radical 4 plus sine of 0. Sine of 0 is 0, so you're just going to get 4 plus 0, which is the square root of 4, which is 2. Well, I don't even need those parentheses anymore, actually. Okay, so we're going to get that. And now we need the slope. So we're going to rewrite y equals 4 plus sine x all to the 1/2 power. Now we're going to need a chain rule. Bring down the 1/2, keep the inside to the negative 1/2, and then the derivative of the inside. Okay, and we need to find the derivative when x is 0. Okay, so I'm going to put 0 in here for x. And again, I'm going to put 0 in for x. Okay, sine of 0 is 0, so we're just going to get 4. And cosine of 0 is 1. Okay, so we're going to get 1/2. 4 to the negative 1/2 power is 1 over radical 4. So that's just going to give us 1/2 times 1/2. Which equals 1/4. Okay, I'm going to erase to make some room here. Okay, so now I know that the slope is 1/4, so I can put that in. Okay, now that I have the tangent line to the curve, now I can finally put in that 0.12. So I know I'm going to have to multiply it by 1/4, so it would be easier for me to write it as 12 over 100. So 4 is going to go into 12 3 times. And then we're going to add 2 to both sides. Okay, so I can rewrite the 2 with a common denominator of 100. And I'm going to get 203 over 100. So you could think of it like this. Whoops. 203 divided by 100 goes in twice, and then it goes in 3. So, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. Okay, so now we have 30. It does not go in 30 at all. You're going to add another 0, and now it goes in 3. So the answer is 2.03, which is choice B. And I have a feeling I said it was choice D, but it should actually be B. So sorry about that if you got that right and you thought you had it wrong. Okay, I'm moving on to the next problem. Okay, I'm on to number 4. And so this looks really confusing, but it's really not so bad. So this was h of x, and you have to find h prime of x. So the secret here is to rewrite it. So instead of writing it as f squared x, write it as f of x all squared. And then you would know you'd just use a chain rule. Okay, so I'm going to bring down the 2, keep the inside. 2 minus 1 is 1, and then I need the derivative of the inside, which is just f prime of x. Okay, that's that. Minus, and now I'm going to do the same thing for that g squared x. I'm going to write it as g of x all squared. Okay, so I'm going to bring down the 2, keep the inside. 2 minus 1 is 1, and then I need the derivative of the inside. Okay, so now this doesn't match any of the choices, so we're just going to have to play around with it a little bit. So we're going to keep this 2. The f of x we're going to keep as f of x. And now if you look at all the givens they gave you, f prime of x is equal to negative g of x. So we're going to put that in. Minus 2, keep the g of x, and g prime of x they told you was equal to f of x. Now you may say, how did I know to choose that rather than changing f of x to g prime of x? You just play around with it until something matches, really. That's the best advice I could give you. Okay, so you have a little negative over here, so we're going to pull that out. So it makes it look a little bit nicer. Okay, so if you have a negative 2 f of x g of x and a negative 2 f of x g of x, that equals negative 4 f of x g of x. Because f of x and g of x are being multiplied, so it doesn't matter what order that's in. And that will give you choice C. Okay, I'm up to number 15 now. This is the information you were given, and I see the word approximation, so as soon as I see that, I'm doing this. Okay, and we were told to use x equals 3. So now we need y. Well, when x is 3, what's y? Well, they gave that to you. It's right here. When x is 3, y is 2. Okay, the next thing you're going to need is the slope. So you're going to need the slope when x is 3. Well, they gave you that also. It's right here. So we know that's 5. Okay, and now is when it gets a little bit confusing. It's saying, in the problem it says, find an approximation to a 0 of f. So like, whenever you look for the zeros, it's always when you're looking along the x-axis, so when is y equal to 0 is the question. So I'm going to put 0 in here. This one was a little bit tricky. Okay, I'm going to simplify. Going to add 15 to both sides, and then divide by 5. And 13 over 5 is equal to 2.6, and that was choice C. Okay, so here's number 16. So you had a picture that sort of looked like this. It's not a perfect picture. And you're being told that this is a derivative picture. And on the original function, so on f of x, you have a 0.35. Okay? And they're asking for an equation of the tangent line at 3,5. So we're always going to be starting here. Okay, and I know that I'm looking for it at the 0.35. Okay, and now I need the slope when x is 3. So what is the slope when x is 3? Okay, so you're going to look over here on the graph. That's when x is 3. So when x is 3, y was 2. Now, your question might be, at x equals 3, the tangent line to the curve would be 0, y is in the slope 0. That's because this is a derivative picture. So it's saying that when the slope is 3, y is equal to 2. So put that in. And that is choice C. Okay, and that's it. If you still have questions, let me know.